Really quick announcement about the Palmer Electrical YouTube channel. In response to popular demand, Palmer Electrical sticker packs are available now. Let's see what we got. We got Palmer Electrical 5 stars. Each pack comes with 2 basic logo stickers, 1 Palmer Electrical YouTube sticker. Hit them with the switch, make them see the light, and my personal favorite, ask me about my strippers. Each sticker pack comes with some fun extra electrical theme. Everybody gets a flag sticker. And big thanks to my friends at Knipex for these badass Cobra stickers. Look at this. Cool foil holograph, as well as a Knipex logo sticker. Sticker packs are available right now. They're $5 at my website, palmerelectricalservices.com. And I recommend you act fast because first 10 people that make it there get their packs for free. I'm about to sweeten the deal. Check this out. One of those lucky 10 people also receive this brand new pair of Knipex Forged Wire Strippers. These are my absolute favorite wire strippers. They are a workhorse and they could be yours for free at palmerelectricalservices.com. Thanks again to the good people at Knipex Tools, and may the odds be ever in your favor. Ask me about my strippers. All right, recording. Good morning, everyone. This is Jacob Palmer from Palmer Electrical. Today we've got a fun weekend project here at the warehouse. Some of you probably saw my short that I released earlier this week. She asked me if I worked on lamps. Heck yeah, I work on lamps. Easy stuff. She loves this lamp here, but you can see the knob. Another customer of mine reached out. This one is kind of special. You can see it's got more of a unique look to it with this nice stained glass shade, but if you look carefully, look at this. This customer of mine found this lamp and fell in love with it in Germany. They brought it back here to their home in the States and they would love to use it, but as you can see, it's a little bit of a problem. This lamp came equipped with what they call a Euro plug. This is a 2-prong, non-polarized, 250 volt attachment plug here. In Europe, they distribute power for most of their small household appliances in 240 volts, and their lamps here use the E27 base. The E27 base is very similar to the E26 base that we use here in the US. It's just slightly larger diameter, and the standard is meant for up to 240 volts. Here in the US, of course, all of our standard wall plugs are rated at 120 volts. So today, I'm going to take you along with me as we rewire this lamp. We're going to replace the supply cord. We're also going to replace the lamp holder with one of these turn knob style lamp holders, E26. This is a very simple procedure. It's very easy to do, as you'll see. As we do this, I've got some cool things to tell you about in our NEC code book. So let's get this show on the road. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get this delicate lamp shade removed from the workbench area. It's very delicate and I am not able to make a repair to this piece. I'm going to set it in here, and I'm just going to take this whole box, put it safely in the office, all the way clear away from danger. There will be no broken glass on my hands today. And then the lampshade holder springs off. And with that out of the way, we can get a closer look at our lamp holder here. You can see that this one was originally rated for a max power draw of 60 watts here. If you look carefully down on the inside, where it's molded into the plastic, it says 250 volts, 4 amps. Also visible on the sides of this lamp holder here are the European compliance markings. Here on the bottom of the base piece here, you can see that there's a strain relief piece where the cord enters the body of the lamp here. We'll probably be reusing this strain relief. It's got a non-metallic little set screw here. On the bottom here, there's this kind of felt footing material here. But to start, I'm going to unscrew this lamp holder here and see if we can get this removed. And that'll give us a chance to see if we're going to need different parts to make our new lamp holder fit onto this existing base here. I'm going to just start with my hands here and see how tight this actually is. Yep. Okay, so that's not going to work. It looks like these ears right here probably click right in. Just gently spreading these little ears out that I see here. There it goes. So we've got that top part loose. And I can see on the inside here that there's not a lot of slack, so that's about as far as it's going to get. And I'm going to shift my focus to this bottom section here. Loosen up this strain relief, small flathead, unscrews this non-metallic screw. All right, now I'm going to use my M18 heat gun here to heat up the adhesive behind this felt footing. This battery-powered heat gun really doesn't get that hot, but in this case, I kind of think that's good. I don't want to risk burning or creating any aesthetic damage to this lamp here, so we're just going to Got this gently peeled back here. See right where the cord comes in and goes right up the center of the base. So that means I should be able to push more slack up out of the top, which is exactly what I need. It looks like this lamp holder here used some push-in retention style connection points here. What if I just try to get this taken apart non-destructively? So much for non-destructively, but I guess that wasn't too bad. There we are. There's the main lamp holder piece removed. Now we can feed our cord back out of here. It can be pulled right on out. All right, the old cord is gone. All right, now the last major step is going to be getting the bottom part of the original lamp holder removed. Here we are. All right. Looks like our new lamp holder should be able to screw right on, but this will be the moment of truth. Perfect. Okay. This will screw right on here. And then the new lamp holder has a little Phillips head set screw to help to keep it in place also. Now it's time to put in our new cord here. This right here is known as a 115P. If you're watching this, you almost certainly recognize this guy. This right here is known as a 515R. The 5 that this name here starts with is an indicator that it is a 2-pole grounding type, and the R stands for receptacle. This is the receptacle that receives the plug. 515P is a 2-pole grounding type plug, P for plug. This is a 115P because it's 2-pole non-grounding. There's a hot and a neutral pin, but there's no ground pin. Most people know that this bottom one here on a regular receptacle like this is the ground pin. But so much of the time, including like in Europe, like what they supplied here, lamps don't have ground pins. Well, why is that? There's conductive surfaces on this lamp here. Shouldn't it be grounded? Well, the answer to that question lies right here in our NEC code book. If we move this stuff aside and make room for the big book, and we jump back to Article 410 right here, which is luminaires, lamp holders, and lamps. Article 410 is in Chapter 4, Equipment for General Use. Part 5 covers grounding. 410.42, luminaires with exposed conductive surfaces. Exposed conductive surfaces shall be connected to an equipment grounding conductor. That's the third pin. Well, that sure seems pretty concrete, doesn't it? Shall be connected to an equipment grounding conductor. Keep reading. If you look right here in the exception, exposed conductive surfaces that comply with the following shall not be required to be connected to an equipment grounding conductor. Right here, number 3, surfaces on portable luminaires with a polarized attachment plug. This 115P plug right here that we're about to attach to this lamp is polarized. If you look closely, most people know that the wide prong here is the neutral. The thin prong here is the hot. That's why on these outlets here, you can see that the neutral hole here is slightly larger. So it can go in this way, but if you try to flip it the other way, it will not go in. On this 515P here, you can see that these two prongs here are the same width, but this is still polarized because it has the ground pin. This can only plug into this one way. It won't go in if you try to do it upside down because the ground pin blocks it. So this is polarized. They do have non-polarized 115s. For example, this is a little cheap USB power converter here, but you can see this is a 115 because there's no grounding pin, and both of these pins are the same width. It'll plug into an outlet this way, or it'll plug into the outlet this way. Same thing, this is my laptop power supply. You can see 2 pins, same size. This is allowed for certain pieces of usually small equipment like this because there's no exposed parts at all on either of these, and these devices here don't need polarized connection. They'll work just fine the same both ways. But for lamps, for portable luminaires, as long as your plug is polarized like this, you don't need to connect it to an equipment grounding conductor. Very interesting, how about that? So moving on, back to the task at hand, it's time to start hooking up our new cord. I'm gonna pass this one through our little built-in strain relief, and then I'm gonna push it up through the center rod of this lamp. It's just getting hung up on the end here. There we go. Bottom part of our new lamp holder here, I'm gonna screw it on, stop it here, and I'm gonna use the set screw to make it so that this slot lines up out and straight and even. That's where our turn knob protrudes out the lamp holder. It's a German lamp, so we'll use German torque specs. I'm pretty sure the torque spec for this is good and tight. I could be wrong about that. I'm going to strip some extra insulation off of the ends here. Tie just a little knot, just a basic overhand with the wires too, just to help to prevent them from getting pulled down. All right, so now we have to hook up our 2 wires here to our 2 terminals on the lamp holder. If you look carefully, there's a silver color screw, and then there's a bronze colored screw here. The same thing as your standard receptacle here. You got silver screws and brass color screws on the other side. They do it that way on purpose, just to make it obvious for whoever's installing this. So now we gotta figure out which one of these 2 wires here is our hot and our neutral. Brings us to another code consideration. If we open up our code book and we go back to that same article we were in earlier, Article 410, and as a matter of fact, it's on the very same page. We were in 410.42, 410.51, polarization of luminaires. The grounded conductor, where connected to a screw shell lamp holder, shall be connected to the screw shell. The grounded conductor is just a fancy word for neutral, so the screw shell here is connected to this silver screw here. Like we determined earlier, the wide prong on this 115 is the neutral prong. You can see, because the wide hole on a receptacle is the neutral, the wide prong here is connected to the side of the wire that has these little ridges. If you look carefully on this lamp wire, you can see one side has little grooves and ridges, and the other side is smooth with writing or text either printed or imprinted into that insulation. In our case, the wire with the little ridges is connected to the neutral prong. In the lamp holder, we're going to be really careful and make sure that we hook up the wire with the ridges to the neutral, and then the wire with the lines of text and specifications to the hot. Let's get this connected. A little tip that I actually learned from my comments section is if you twist your wires counterclockwise here, it'll prevent those strands from splaying out very easily. Over the screw, and tighten that down. A little tug test. Hook over our hot wire. Tighten that down. Now we just look at everything again, make sure that we didn't make any obvious mistakes. This all looks good to me. We'll push this down, grab the top part of our new lamp holder, and then screw it on and tighten it down. Strain relief that came with the lamp. Just gonna reuse it. Now before we button this the rest of the way up, I'm gonna put a bulb in here and then do a test just to make sure it functions before we re-adhere this bottom piece and close it the rest of the way up. Got a test bulb. Plug this in. There we go. My next step is going to be to go ahead and re-adhere this felt piece here. I'm going to go ahead and use some of this, some contact cement, nice and strong. A layer of contact cement around the edge. A layer of contact cement on the bottom of the base. Now we're going to let this contact adhesive dry, and after both surfaces become dry, it'll be just a little bit tacky to your fingers, but they will stick together very permanently whenever the 2 surfaces are pressed together. So I'm going to come back here in about 15 minutes. I'm going to carefully line up the edge of the foam, press it up on there, and then I have this roller tool, put some pressure on that adhesion. This contact cement does rely on some pressure after it has set. Pretty good around the edge there. I'm happy with that. Now that that's set, we're on the home stretch. This is the replacement turn knob. I like this one because it's got these nice knurled edges there. I feel like it looks and feels just a little bit better. It screws directly onto the threaded post for this turn knob lamp holder. Many of these little turn knob sockets here have somewhat of a hidden feature that not a lot of people know about. If we take our standard base bulb, we turn the knob, click, but nothing happens. Turn it again, turns on. One more time, stays on. Another one, it turns off. Well, why does it do that? There's nothing wrong with the lamp holder, and there's nothing wrong with the bulb that's in it. This is a 3-way lamp holder. It's got extra clicks on purpose because it's designed to go with one of these 3-way bulbs. We take our 3-way bulb and screw it in so you can get different amounts of light output out of the same lamp without needing any sort of a dimmer attachment. Whenever I do lamps like this, I'm always sure to include a 3-way holder and bulb for my customer just to get that added functionality out of it. It's really easy. It doesn't cost very much extra. With that, we're pretty much done. Let's get this put the rest of the way back together, and we'll show you what the final product looks like. Well, maybe I spoke too soon. It looks like our lamp shade holder here isn't going to be big enough to accommodate this 3-way bulb that I got. I've got one of these. This is an A19 shape bulb. It's just a little bit smaller, and you can see that that fits much more appropriately inside of there. Unfortunately, we're going to have to go with that one. I'm sure, though, that we can find a 3-way A19 bulb. Get our shade. And there it is. Fixture and lamp repair are some of my favorite work to do. It's really simple, it's very easy to do, but I think it's really rewarding to make repairs and upgrades instead of just buying new like we do so much of these days. But I want to hear what you think. Maybe I have some lamp repair specialists in my viewership who want to leave some tips on how I could have done this better or differently. Or maybe there are some DIYers out there who have some questions about their lamps. I'm always happy to answer comments as they come in. But that's going to do it for today's video. This was a really simple one. Like I said at the beginning, this is just a quick weekend project. Thanks for joining me back on the Palmer Electrical YouTube channel. I always have a blast making videos for you guys. Make sure you leave a comment and tell me what you want to see next. This has been Jacob Palmer from Palmer Electrical. Thanks for watching and take care.